Welcome to this episode of Diaspora Scholars TV, where we bring you stories about the journeys of students and scholars and professionals who've left their motherland, particularly Africa, to come to the U.S. Again to study and to improve their careers for the betterment of themselves, their countries they come from, and the countries they live in. So today I'm at the University of Massachusetts to meet Celine, and she's going to tell us a little bit more of what she's doing here. So Celine, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And thanks for welcoming us today. It was really nice having you. And let's see, what do you do here? And again, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you're a student at this university, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. You told us you are doing a PhD in special education.
Yes.
Okay, how is it?
I love it. Pretty simply, but more specifically, like the whole thing.
Yeah, like how are you? How is school? I know you've been here for how long now?
Specifically at this college.
Uh-huh.
This is my 4th year.
This is your 4th year. So how's been those 4 years? What can you really say in terms of school and classes and your studies? Everything looks good?
Yes. No, I love for me at this level of education because you can specialize in the areas that you're really interested in. Whereas sometimes when you're in high school or college, sometimes you still have to take classes that you don't feel like you're interested in, but you have to. But at the PhD level, it's been wonderful to be able to take classes that I'm specifically interested in because it has to do with my field of like special education or how to do even or other things that are still related to special education. And so it's been, for me, purposeful. It feels like I'm doing, I'm not just taking classes to take classes, but I'm taking classes that are related to the field that I'm interested in my work, whether it's the studies that I'm doing. They also have like real life impact. So they're able to affect schools, hopefully in a positive way. So that for me has been, if I can summarize my experience so far, it feels purposeful.
Purposeful, you say? Wow. So before you came to the University of Massachusetts to do your PhD, where were you before you came here?
So before that, it's a long story, but
that is the story we want to hear about, and that's why we are doing this show.
Yes.
Tell our viewers a little bit about your story because I'm sure it's been a long journey, but you still have several miles to cover as well.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, like you keep on saying, you feel like so far it has been purposeful.
Yes.
So obviously there is a life purpose ahead of what you want to achieve.
Yes.
So where do you come from originally?
So I come from Rwanda.
Rwanda in Africa.
I was born and raised there until I was 13 years old. And then my mom came to do her studies in Vermont. And so me and my brother, we came and then we started taking classes at middle school in Vermont. So I've been in the U.S. education system for quite some time now. So from middle school all the way to now.
You came when you were 13?
When I was 13, yes.
Oh, so what grade did you join when you came?
So I was in 7th grade. 7th
grade. So you've gone through the education system from 7th grade to high school.
Yes. College and now graduate school, yes.
Oh. You say your mom came in, which year did she come to the U.S.?
2007.
2007.
Yeah.
Oh. And you guys and your siblings, came what year? The same year?
Yes.
2007.
Yes.
Oh. You've been here for some time.
Yeah. It went by quickly, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like I've been here now for, 16 almost, I guess 16 years.
Oh, 16 years is a long time.
Yeah.
Now, when you were in Rwanda, so you went to, of course, from grade 1 to grade 7.
Yes.
In Rwanda.
Yes.
What was the name of the school you went to? So, I'm sure there might be people watching from Rwanda who really want to know, where did Celine go?
Afterwards. So I went to different schools. Part of my first primary school was Rugunga.
Rugunga.
Yes, and then
is it in where? Rugunga. That's in Kampala.
No.
I mean Kigali.
Yes.
Oh, Kigali. Kigali.
Yes. And then after that, I went to École Internationale, and it was like in the French.
In French, that means in like international school.
International school, yep. And then afterwards, I went to Green Hills Academy.
Oh, you had Green Hills.
Yeah. And then that's when I came.
That's when you came to the U.S. Yeah. And then when you came to the U.S., you joined some school in Vermont.
Yes.
All right. So if you are from Africa, go find out where Vermont is. To the northeast of the United States.
Even people I feel like in the U.S. sometimes they don't know.
Yeah, some people even think it's a town, right?
Yes, yeah. It's not.
Vermont is a state.
It is a state, yes.
Oh, okay. So you did your middle school here. Which high school did you go to in Vermont?
So I went to a school called the Putney School.
The Putney School.
The Putney School. It's like a boarding private
school. It was a boarding school?
Yes. It's a boarding private school. But
some people think there are no boarding schools in the U.S. anymore. It was a boarding school.
Yes, and it's an amazing school. They have cows.
Is it a girls-only boarding school?
No, mixed.
Mixed?
Yes. And there you learn even how to do farming. And you have to take care of cows. You have to do
taking care of cows.
Yes, while you're there as a student.
In a school in Vermont in the U.S.
Yes. So sometimes people back home, they might think you're coming to the U.S. to be a farmer, but yes, it was a very good experience.
You are beginning to give me some view of probably how your mom was thinking.
Yeah.
She's the one who took you to that boarding school where you could even, learn even farming.
Yes, and arts. They love to teach students like arts, and not just like painting, but how to make jewelry, how to do photography in the dark room, for example, like film photography, or how to do they call like blacksmithing. So even like making like different types of tools, and so they teach like some great skills. And for me specifically, I learned also how to do like weaving, how to work on a loom, how to make products, like for example, like scarves and like this, like how to make that. And those are things I didn't know that you could do in high school, like learn those real skills. And
so it was really hands-on, it's practical.
Yes.
They were teaching a lot of life skills.
Yes.
And some who could even become a trade, like in farming.
Exactly. A lot of the students there, some of them, they end up actually pursuing like art, careers in arts and other skills like that. And
even farming, entrepreneurship.
Yes.
What's the name of the school?
So because it's called the Putney School.
The
Putney School.
The Putney School.
Yes.
And which city in Vermont?
In Putney. In Putney, Vermont.
So the Putney School. Did I say it right?
Vermont.
Could you say it one more time so that our viewers can get to know?
Yes. So the school is called the Putney School, and it's in Putney, Vermont.
Wow. Wonderful. Excellent. So from there, you graduated high school. Which year was that?
So I graduated in 2013. And a big part actually before I graduated, as you said, you just mentioned entrepreneurship. That's where I started getting into entrepreneurship.
You did?
Yes. And so after I'd learned how to weave, I was going back home to Rwanda I was doing some photojournalism because I'd also learned how to do photography at the school. And I was photographing students who have been affected by HIV/AIDS. In
Kigali,
Rwanda.
In Kigali, Rwanda.
Yes, just to kind of show their experiences and the stigma and things that they were going through.
And you learned these photos from that school.
Yes, and so I would come back with like the pictures, and then I would put on like shows just to showcase, to explain to
the plight of
yes, and then afterwards I realized too that just photographing what their lived experiences was not enough. So I was trying to figure out how can we empower the young people in Rwanda, especially if, let's say, if they did not have money to go to higher education. Some of them were left at home, or if the stigma of HIV/AIDS, sometimes too, they felt like they couldn't go in certain places. So with the skill that I learned how to weave, my teacher and I from high school, we went back home to Rwanda with the other students.
An American teacher?
Yes, an American teacher.
What was the name of the teacher?
Melissa Johnson. and she's still there. She's an amazing teacher, so I'm giving her a big shout out.
Melissa Johnson,
Johnson.
your student is right here.
Yes.
Talking about how you inspired her to achieve greatness and particularly to take care of other people, right?
Yes, and she still actually is doing that today for a lot of other students as well, inspiring them. And she still is, now she's a co-founder of the project that we started together. So it's a cooperative.
So what's the name
now.
of the project?
So it's called Isano. It's Isano Cooperative.
Isano Cooperative.
Yes. So it's a women's cooperative in Rwanda, and they do fiber arts. So they do like hand woven products, and they sell them and themselves, and they're able to get money from it so that they can support their families and. Yeah.
Wow. I think somebody didn't warn me about this.
Yeah.
You've already done quite a bit, and it's already inspired. It's really inspiring, and I keep on thinking of what you said earlier on, that you are trying to do things that are purposeful.
Yes.
You are trying to actually add, purpose to people's lives. To focus and be able to change the lives of, for example, you talked about, you started by, photojournalism, trying to highlight the plight of HIV/AIDS among children in Africa, particularly in Rwanda. Yeah. Now you have started this cooperative to empower women in Rwanda, and you are not only doing it by yourself, you are trying to bring several people on board, right?
Yes, and I think for me, when you said people might be wondering why this purpose even at such a young age, but going back to, coming from Rwanda.
Yes.
So my family, they gave me a name that's called Kaduhoze.
Kaduhoze.
Yes. And Kaduhoze means in Kinyarwanda, it's like a baby that takes away the tears.
Oh.
Or and that's because of just losing family members in the genocide.
Yes.
So my mom, she named me that name.
Kaduhoze.
And I feel like a lot of children, probably like myself, who were born right after the genocide.
Yeah.
They feel that sense of like, what can we do to rebuild the
what
future?
Can we do to rebuild the future and not have any opportunity to return to the past?
Yes.
We want to be forward looking.
Yeah, so I feel like there's a lot of, just kind of, for me, that gave me a lot of inspiration and motivation to be thinking about how can I make a positive impact in the world around me, not just in Rwanda, but wherever that I go. I'm grateful. My mom, she's biggest role model, so I'm grateful for the name.
What is the name of your mom?
My mom's name is Grace.
Grace.
Yes.
And she raised you with a lot of grace as well. And you keep talking, and every time you speak, looks like this is an opportunity that viewers, if you want to be able to support Celine's work in Africa, how can they reach you? What's the name of that organization again?
So it's called Isano Cooperative.
Isano Cooperative.
Yes, and Isano means, actually in Kinyarwanda, means family bond. So, and that's a name that the cooperative women, they chose that name, but they wanted to say they're coming together to do this together, but as like a family, so they have that bond.
So you are trying to create more and more family bonds and expand this family to be able to add purpose, to, African women like you and many more. But you want to be able to use your, position, your education to continue highlighting the plight and supporting of, African women, right?
Yes.
Viewers, when we return, Celine continues with her journey.